And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We're talking Brands Hatch, the top 10 in Brands Hatch, top 10 drivers over the weekend. And what a weekend it was. We already done a video about stories coming out of the weekend. Firsts for both Charles Rainford and Dow de Leon. Yes, it was a fantastic weekend. I was sunburnt at the weekend. I went with my brother and his father-in-law, funnily enough, and we all got sunburnt. It was my brother that paid for tickets for my birthday, so thank you very much, my brother, if you are watching. So, I mean, obviously, he was number one of the day for paying for the tickets, but he wasn't the driver, so he does not count. But who counts is the drivers. And the first driver we're going to be talking about is a driver that hasn't been doing particularly well of late. He didn't start very well in race one, but this guy here, Josh Cook, I think he's had a really hard time. I mean, when you look at race one, he started 15th, which, yeah, okay, not particularly great 15th. But then race two, after starting 15th, he finished 6th, which I thought was fairly solid, and 6th again for race three. So I think Josh Cook definitely deserves to be in the top 10, and the top 10 he has visited. Next up is a man that started race 2 in 20th position and finished all the way up in, I think it was 5th, wasn't it? I'm just double checking. It was 5th, Aidan Moffat. So started 20th, finished 5th. What an absolute fantastic drive. And if you remember race 2, yes, it was won by Dow de Leon. There was chaos, but let's be fair, there weren't very many racing laps, were there? At all. And in those racing laps, yes, the sea parted for Aidan Moffat somewhat, but he still finished in the top 10, as in 5th. Not bad at all. Next up, we've got Dan Camish, who had a very mixed weekend. So in race 1, he was solid. He finished 5th. The top Napa Racing UK guy. So in race 2, he potentially would have won it had it not been for a mechanical failure, which basically plonked him on the back straight. And for then people to absolutely ram him and destroy his backside, his car, obviously. And I felt really sorry for him because I think he was behind Jake Hill at the time, who was still leading. And the safety car was just about to come out. And I all thought this guy's going to win. He was on the better tyre at the time. And sadly, bad luck just happened to him. I really felt for him. I want to mention this guy as well. It was another solid weekend. Well, another, he hasn't had many of them recently. For Adam Morgan, so he finished 4th in race 1, which I thought was quite good. He finished 2nd in race 2, and in race number 3, which is the reversed race grid, for example, he didn't do so well. He finished 12th, but still, I thought for Adam Morgan an absolutely solid result, as was this guy here, Chris Smiley. Now, bearing in mind, he is in the Coupe Leon, which I always think is, I've said, is not the strongest package in terms of cars. And Chris Smiley, yes, he finished 12th for his restart racing in the race 1. In race 2, Chris Smiley ended up finishing, oh gosh, I had it all, and then you press one button and you lose it, but this guy finished 4th, okay? 4th for race 2, which I thought was really good. 1 place off a podium, and then in race number 3, he finished 5th. So I think he had a really solid weekend. He can be really proud as well. So Tom Ingram also had an okay weekend. Not really setting the world in qualifying. He wasn't really too bad, but then he decided on the harder tyre for the beginning of the race, and I think that really put him out, didn't it? Really put him down for race 1. It was, he did struggle. He finished 3rd, so I thought at one point maybe he could get Charles Rainford, and it was race 2, my apologies, that he chose the dreaded tyre, and he went all the way back to 11th after starting 3rd, which was, not great. But then for race 3, he finished on the podium. So I think, once again, an absolutely solid weekend for Tom Ingram. So this guy here, the championship leader, Ash Sutton, congratulations once again on getting his 100th podium. So race 1 was absolutely abysmal for Ash. From 13th to 10th, it wasn't quite the Ash Sutton. I don't think he was particularly happy with the car here, but he did finish 3rd for race 2, which I thought was really good. And he did have the biggest going, and he had, not a particularly great boost. He had hardly any boost whatsoever, which was one of the reasons why he didn't have as good qualifying. And in race 3, he finished 4th. So I think he's done absolutely fantastic. So we then get to the podium, and it's going to be no surprise, it was Jake Hill that had a solid weekend. I mean, he finished in race 1. He finished 1st in race 2. Once again, kind of like Ingram, he get the wrong tyres on, didn't he? And he went all the way back to 8th, but in race 3 he finished 2nd. So really consistent, two podiums, one of them including a win. Next up, we have Dow DeLeon, who scored his first race win, which was absolutely fantastic in race number 2. And he, in race 3, yeah, okay, he didn't do too well on the reverse grid. He finished outside the top 10. But then it was the race 1 and 2 that really secured the 2nd place for him. Okay, in race 1 he finished 7th, and then he climbed from that position to ended up winning, which was quite a chaotic race. But what a move on Jake Hill. Was it aggressive? Yes. Was it fair? Absolutely it was. Fantastic to see a debut race win. Next up, we have Charles Rainford, who was so close to, winning his first race in race 1, but Jake Hill was just too good for him. And in race 2, he kind of hit the reverse button, but he finished 7th, didn't he? And then in race 3, he ended up winning which was an absolutely fantastic move for the win on the Napa guy, which was, let me see, it was Daniel Rowbottom, who I think he started on pole, didn't he? And he just kind of went backwards. But Charles Rainford is our man of the weekend for the BTCC after a fantastic qualifying, just missing out on that pole, starting on the front row, finishing 2nd in that first race and taking the win in the 3rd race and holding on with the worst tyre to finish nicely in the top 10 in the 2nd race. Congratulations, Charles. Charles Rainford. I had a moment there. So that's about it, really. I'm just going to hit the stop button. Nothing fancy, but if you want to, please give us a subscribe if you're not. Until then, we'll speak to you soon. So thank you very much.